I'm afraid I've learned little of use about how to reach Nabatharang. The Umoran presence, though, that's another matter. Apparently, though their army is definitely in Amarang, there have been no sightings of Umorans at all in the Hills of Amber. Perhaps we can take that as a sign that Alisaie's plan has borne fruit. Did you have any better luck finding us a route forward? Notes. Over. So these are our options. Well, what do you think? My God. The trolley? Does seem to be the least risky of our options, but I can't imagine one gate is enough to thwart you. I'd like to know a bit more before we dash off in search of it, though. Perhaps Soon can offer some insight. Soon. Oh, valued customers! Were the other Mord of help? Of a fashion? They told us of a trolley that runs to Nabatharang, at least. But am I correct in thinking that there was a reason you did not do so yourself when first we asked? Yes. The gate, you see. It is impassable. Before, there was a hulking thing of stone, the Talos. It opened the gate, they say. But none operates such a thing now. I do not even know if it yet exists. I do not know, but you should travel east to Mount Biron Mines. That is where the trolley controls stand. I still see miners there from time to time, if anyone knows what happens to the Talos. It would be them. Thank you. You've been a great help. We're off to Mount Biron then. Let's hope that someone will be there to answer our questions. The kobolds? They are pretty cute, huh? Scale of the track is impressive. I'll give them that. Now we only need to follow it until we come to the mines. Mess, isn't it? But the mechanisms for dispatching the trolley are here, just as Zunzun said. Unfortunately, anyone who might know how to use them is not. We might wait for Zunzun's mysterious miners to appear, or have a look around and see if we can deduce anything useful in their absence. I'm in favor of the latter. Something near the entrance to the mines proper caught Urianger's eye. Meet us there if you find anything. I see. Indeed, thine observations are consistent with mine own. But let us refrain from further discussions ere our comrades arrive. How do you unsub? From me? You go to twitch.com/subscriptions. Ample evidence of recent maintenance. Thank you for the hydrate, Trigon. The levers for switching tracks looked like they were in good condition, though I couldn't move them myself. No ordinary person could, I think. It is my belief that no person is meant to. This guy's meant to? This Talos beareth more than a passing resemblance to golems of the source. Nor doth it appear to be the sole example of its kind. The proliferations of Talos fragments, as well as the enormity of the mechanisms here, suggest a considerable number were once in operation. Alas, this specimen and its fellows now lie lifeless and broken, and I know not how to repair them, that they might facilitate our passage through the gate. And without the aid of the Talos, even if thou wert somehow able to unbar the trolley's path, we would still have no means of repelling it. Oh, I thought I was muted there for a second, Menno. Just testing. We might not know how to repair the Talos, but someone must. Otherwise, why keep everything else in working order? Whoever is maintaining the cars and rails must know something that we don't. Somebody has to remind me, like when I'm not streaming. Final Fantasy 14 is fun. You need to finish. I think I remember you playing Final Fantasy 14. Wait, what did he say? Corey, I do believe you'll find a person of some interest skulking in the shadows behind the warehouses on the northwestern side of the tracks. We are being followed. Gotcha. While you two have a friendly chat, the rest of us will gently encourage those to the south to come out of hiding. Defend yourselves as necessary, of course, but do try to keep everyone in one piece. Off we go, then. Wicked White. Where did you come from? Language. No, never mind that. You have no business here. Of that I am sure. Oh, he's gonna attack me. He's attacking me. I'm not sure what. I need to figure out. I don't know what. Let me look. You've been wanting. Oh, very nice. Yeah. What are you looking to get into? Do you know what engine or anything you want to work with? We're currently working with Unreal, but we've also worked with Godot a little bit for like 2 days. I 2 days. These two weren't too much trouble either. Let's see what they have to say for themselves. Yes, he's well muscled. Us? We're not the brigands come to take what isn't ours. Do we honestly look like we'd need to steal? What, some rusted bits of iron? Don't be absurd. We're not here to rob you. A likely story. You look, well... You don't look normal. That's for certain. You don't have any wares, so you're clearly not merchants. Travelers never pass this way. The only reason you would come all the way out here is to strip the machinery for parts. Oh, Thaf, I have an idea. What if, once upon a time, a lovely lady of noble birth ventured forth in search of her lost love, joined by her 2 most loyal servants sworn to follow her unto world's end. On their journey, they met a sorcerer, as ancient as time itself. Moved by the lady's devotion, he offered to be their guide, and they turned up here somehow. I can only assume that you're being intentionally obtuse, but in the unlikely event that that's a serious conjecture, no. I suppose I am a bodyguard of sort, but we have rather larger concerns than fairy tale romances. Though I would fain hear more of his ageless sorcerer and his heroic deeds. Gods give me strength. If I may, we're actually searching for a means by which to travel to Nabatharang. We were hoping that the trolley here might offer a solution. I realize that we haven't gotten off to the best of starts, but if you know anything about how we might get it working again? The trolley? The trolley! You should have led with that! We're always keen to discuss the trolley. We're both engineers in training. In fact, Jarek and Thaf, at your service. Technically, I'm a miner and he does repair work, but our true passion is the trolley. We're working with a few other folks to get it up and running again. And before you ask, yes, it's true that there's little in need of transport these days, but there's no reason to consign a miracle of mechanical innovation to dust. The mere sight of it traveling the track once again would make hearts sore, mark my words. You'll hear no argument from us. What progress have you made thus far? Not as much as we'd like, truth be told. Well, is there anything we could do to assist you? We could gather materials or help put pieces together? It's a sight more complicated than that, I'm afraid. If you spoke with Magnus, you'd understand. He's the only one with full knowledge of the trolley's operation. Oh, we killed Magnus. I suppose you could speak with him if you like. We'll introduce you. Oh, well then who did we kill? Very well. Our options are limited, and if this Magnus can explain whatever is preventing the trolley from being restored, I'd like to hear it. Right. It looks like you'll be following us back to Twine, then. If you're ready, we can leave now. Though, you haven't seen another fellow around here, have you? I thought he'd come out by now. Yeah, I kicked his ass. Sorry. You think he'll be alright? Well, I suppose we did force your hand a bit. I'll have a look, just in case. You go on ahead, Thef. Alright, looks like it'll just be you lot and me then. Try not to let anything take a bite out of you on the way out of the rail yard. Damn, that's smart. That's smarts. Did he have to thump me so hard? I'll be feeling that for the next fortnight at least. Not to be done about it now, though. I've pointed your overeager companions in the right direction, and they've gone on ahead, so we need to get moving. Normally, we walk atop the tracks, but seeing as the young lady has a much shorter stride, there's more perilous a route than I'm comfortable suggesting. Wouldn't want anyone falling through the gaps. Of course, the low road presents other dangers, but having been on the receiving end of your friend's blows, I'm not worried on that account. Alright, here we go. Wait a moment. I think I hear something. Oh, that's something, alright. Run! What are we running from? This guy? The little fella. What is Tilly? Hold on, give me a second. I don't know. I need to look that up. Beth, what's happening, guy? Come on, man. Sorry about that. I'll admit, I didn't expect this route to be quite so fraught with danger. We're nearly to Twine, though, so we should make it without further incident. This is it. Welcome to Twine. The original dwellings were built to house those laborers tasked with building the track. Over time, miners came to seek their fortunes, and that's what made the town grow to what you see before you today. But it was still the trolley that brought them here. As you've doubtless noticed, the track goes to the very heart of the town. It was the heart of the town back when the trolley still carried everyone home at the end of each hard day in the mines. Now, there is no trolley, nor much work to be had in the mines, for that matter. The only residents that remain are the destitute, the delusional, and those with nowhere else to go, or so they say. That should give you some indication of what to expect when you meet Magnus. As I said, it will help you understand why we can't get the trolley running, just don't expect much aside from that. Yeah, they don't have Tagalog on there or Cebuano, which is kind of sad. I mean, they said that they wanted to. Who are you supposed to be? Never seen the three of you in my life. Or the four of you. Wicked White, if you're gonna bother me, at least have the damned courtesy to stand still. Oh, he's drunk. Methinks this one is deep in his cups. These are my guests, Magnus. We ran into them at the mines. They're looking for a way to reach Nabatharang, so they came to ask about the trolley, you see? What? There's nothing in Nabatharang. Not anymore. And especially not for frail little girls. Give it up. No, we must reach Nabatharang. I must. Bah, So you have your heart set on it. The world doesn't care. The place is a ruin. Nothing more. And you're not getting there in the trolley. The thing doesn't run on hopes and dreams. We're not fools. It's necessity that drives the Stinbathering. If you insist that the trolley's not an option, at least tell us why. No. I'm sick of people asking me about the blasted thing. Leave me be. We'll speak outside. Man, he couldn't have warned us about this man? I don't know. I thought he said that he was gonna have some... I thought he was gonna have some answers. He only said that because he thinks I'm weak. And he's right. But it can't be. I won't be forever. There has to be some way. I must find it. Oh, I'm sorry. I was stuck in my own head again. It's clear that Magnus has no intention of helping us, but perhaps we should ask the other residents? They must know something of the trolley. I'll take the north side of town. Let me know if you learn anything. Thancred, art thou truly content to stand witness to fate's course and take no part? This isn't a matter of fate, Urianger. It's about choice. And I've had years to decide where I stand. Amphilia has spent too long in chains already. I will not shackle her again by making my hopes known. It is for her to choose which shape her destiny will take. It is for me to stay silent, to protect her, teach her, and stand by her. That, at least, I can do for her. So Amphilia is gonna decide whether she... So be it. Come, let us make our own inquiries. So she's gonna do a thing? Gonna do the thing? I don't know. Oh, there you are. Be pleased to know that I got our friend back home with no trouble and he's just fine. He was a bit shaken up is all. And you, what did Magnus have to say? I'm sorry we couldn't be of more help though. I could at least show you the trolley car we have here if you like. You give it a stroke or two. It has some very smooth wood. What is that supposed to mean? Jarek, are you hitting on us? Hey, yo! Jarek! I mean, his name is Jarek, so... You mean to say you're not giving up? Even knowing that Magnus is Magnus? I don't see much point in your being stubborn about it, though perhaps stubbornness is exactly what the situation calls for. Can't forge iron without an anvil, after all. I can't imagine that anything you try will work, but if you're certain, you can help me make preparations in the event that it does. To that end, take this toolbox. We're going to inspect the rails. I'll have a look along the tracks for anything that's in need of repair. You bring the tools and be ready to hand them to me whenever I stop to work. You open the box, revealing the proud array of lovingly maintained tools within. Brilliant. Now, if you could hand me what I need as I work, that would be a help. In this case, well, this bolt is loose for one matter. We can't have that. I'll need to tighten it. Mid-size wrench. Thank you. This one will do nicely. Now give me one moment and... There. I don't see any other problems, so let's continue along the track. I'm a bit concerned about this lantern post. Would you ready the tools for me? Wants me to ready the tools. Losing flying? I know. It is literally the worst. You get so used to, like, going so fast. Flying. You have to like, it's quicker for my dancer to just peloton everywhere and just walk. Okay. And if night returns, well, it's a nice thought. Yeah. Anyhow, a bit of this post seems to have splintered. Whether its lamp is to be lit or not, we wouldn't want these little pieces of wood jabbing the next person who comes through here to do maintenance. I'll need to sand it down a bit. A rough file. He's like, yeah, wood file's perfect. Been moving, finding a job, and now it's just a job hunt. Oh, I've been good. Game development has been good. We're kind of going in a new direction for the next few weeks that I'm really excited about. So, been good. Oh, I should probably read this. At great expense, the Naboth brought the Mistil engineers who specialized in Talos here to the hills, and wouldn't you know it, the mining industry picked right up again. Twine itself sprung up around that time, as a matter of fact. It was named after the entwining of tales, the fruitful cooperation between the native Ronso and the newly come Mistil. But that, like so much else, fell apart in the wake of the flood. The Mistil left, taking their knowledge with them. It was 15 years ago that the last of them, the folks from Daedalus Stoneworks, took off for Yulmore, and now no one remains that can repair and operate the Talos. But there's no use lamenting in what can't be changed, and there's one more thing we need to do while we're out here, so we might as well get to it. Vultures occasionally make their nests on the track, you see, and it falls to us to remove them when they do. The creatures are angry when disturbed, which is natural, but nevertheless a danger to anyone passing by. It's not my favorite task, to be honest with you, and as you may have noticed, I'm not terribly suited to confrontation. That said, would you follow the tracks north and remove any nests you find for me? I'll keep an eye on things from here. Thank you. That should be everything taken care of. Bedtime reminder. In return for your help, I'll tell you a bit more about the trolley. Nothing that can get it started again, though. As I said, the only people who knew how to repair the Talos are long gone. When they left, the life began to bleed out of the town. The trolley's tracks rusted, and its cars fell into disrepair. Now, I was born in Twine, raised there. My first word was trolley, damn it, and those were the worst years of my life. But then, about 7 years passed, Magnus and his wife returned to us. Magnus is a real proper trolley engineer, and perhaps he would never have left in the first place if it hadn't been for his son. As you're well aware, Amarang is hardly the safest place, and Magnus wanted his child to grow up away from its dangers. It didn't help. In the end, the Sin Eaters got the boy. Isn't that always the way? Oh, no, Magnus! The child had always said that someday he wanted to see Magnus's trolley running again, so in his memory they returned to Twine, started fixing those rusted rails and broken cars, and it was all going well for a time. Wicked White? Vultures? Are they back for revenge? Never mind, I don't want to find out. Wait, what happened? Jarek, come back! Don't leave me in suspense. Ahem. Nice work out there. And now you know the story of the trolley. Won't do you much good without the Talos, though. If there was even a single one that still functioned, things might be different. But, well, here we are. You met him before, but nothing even close to having dinner together? Oh, look at all the quests that have popped up here. Not that it'll do you any good, but we do have a Talos we've been meaning to repair. I can show you if you'd like. It'd certainly be nice to hear something other than Magnus's griping for a change. He's jealous of your beard? Oh, nice. That's how you score sweet points with Tuesday. You get jealous of his beard. Tuesday, I'm jealous of your beard too. Yariange, what are you doing here? Truly a most vexing state of affairs. I see. This means to build Talos stone by stone are lost to us, 'tis true. But here before us slumbers a most fine specimen. Indeed, were it not for a few minor failings, it would be in working condition. It will likely require naught but a few modest repairs and a suffusion of ether. Well, if you think you can get the thing up and running, far be it from me to stop you. But what exactly do you reckon is the problem? I should stress that I've performed only the most cursory of examinations, though such arcane constructs are not wholly unfamiliar to me. As I did suspect from the first, it is host to a network of veins through which ether flows freely. Or so it would, were it not for several fractures which now impede said flow. How in the hells did you get all that from just a glance? I take it you've thought up a solution as well then. To bridge these fissures requireth a material highly conductive to ether. Once in place, I believe it will be possible to restore the Talos to life. Might I prevail upon thee to acquire that which we require? Not far beyond the walls of thine dwelleth the creature of living stone, the Debitage. Full sure am I that stone from such a being would prove most suitable for our needs. Very good. I shall have Thancred and Memphilia attend me in the remaining preparations. I spied but 3 obstructions to the flow of ether on the Talos, and thus would I ask you provide 3 stones of the Debitage. All else will be made ready upon thy return. Have a good night, Star Fox. Thancred and Memphilia will return ere long with the remaining supplies we require. Didst thou succeed in procuring stone from the Debitage? Oh. Fine specimens, one and all. You have my thanks. We need now but wait for Thancred and Memphilia's return. I did make Amazon Bungirl. From end to end, the paths by which aether may flow through the Talos have been duly mended. Oh god, I have hookups. But they require sufficient endowment. Strange. The core refuseth to stir. I fear the condition of this Talos is more dire than I previously surmised. As a heart driveth blood through a man's veins, so doth the core ether throughout this massive frame. Failing its repair or replacement, the Talos cannot be restored. So it was the heart after all. Thou didst foresee this outcome? Well, no, not exactly. We'd never gotten this far in trying to repair it, so we had no way of knowing the heart was the real problem. We tried to find another, in case things turned out as they are now, but... Jarek? This isn't really my story to share. Please, Jarek. Something went wrong. Maybe we can help. Alright, alright. After all you lot have done for me, I suppose it's the least I can do. Right then. The Talos. Their hearts cannot be made of just any stone. You need a special sort with sufficient ethereal conductivity. Both it and the other materials used in the construction of Talos bodies are mined in the same place. That place, of course, being here, the Hills of Amber. And it was 3 years ago when she... No, I can't. I'm sorry, but you'll have to hear it from Thaf or someone else. It's about that guy's wife. Something happened to that guy's wife. Back to the tavern, then. She's probably the Light Warden. Still here, huh? You can ask again, but the answer's the same. Our trolleys are... What? God damn it, Jarek. You could have at least finished so I wouldn't have to clean up your mess. Seeing how you made such quick progress in fixing that Talos and all, he was probably thinking you could help change things around here. And I think he may be right. Gather your friends and I'll tell you what you want to know. Also, what point are you trying to prove, Tuesday?
Magnus's wife was a miner, you know. Greatest prospector there ever was. When the golem heart started failing, she was the first to head out in search of more. Problem was, most of the veins ran dry ages ago, and finding fresh ones to tap's only gotten harder. But she wasn't one to be deterred. She just kept digging deeper and deeper. And then the mine collapsed.
It collapsed.
We labored day and night to clear away the rubble, but it took us 2 months to find her. To find her body. Magnus has never been the same since.
Where is he, if you don't mind my asking?
Ah, yes, well, if he's not here, there's only one other place he'd be.
Oh, Magnus.
What? Oh, you again. How many times must I tell you? The trolley won't run! We'd be better off dismantling the damn thing and selling the parts
Kelsey
for
Tuesday
scrap.
playing RimWorld.
Now piss off back to wherever you came from. And don't let me catch you around here again.
I usually have it turned off. I forgot to before stream.
What were their names?
My son was named Scully. My wife, Agna.
He lost someone he loved too. Her name was
Being here with
Minfilia.
them, it beats going home. Home stopped being home when I lost them. I thought to try and drown my sorrows. But somehow, the bottle's never deep enough.
No bottle is. Believe me, I know.
You've lost someone too?
Not like you. Not my own flesh and blood. I grew up an orphan, so I never really knew what family meant. Not until I met a man who offered to take me in and make me his pupil. He was a kindly soul, always looking out for me, like a father. Not that I appreciated that at the time, or anything else for that matter. But I finally had a family. And then I robbed a young girl of hers.
Wait, what?
I did my best to make amends, to offer her comfort. But the more I look back on it, the more I realize just how inadequate my efforts were. I let her down. That is why I refuse to let her legacy die. In the end, all we can do is press on, for those we have lost, for those we can yet save.
Wait, Minfilia? He killed her parents?
And that requires your talent.
Is that what he said?
Please, Magnus. You are our only hope of reaching Nabarth Areng.
What rubbish.
She's not gone. No matter what you say or believe, she's not. We can still bring her back.
Wait, she's willing to sacrifice herself to bring the other Minfilia back? She shouldn't have to do that. It's like, full well do I know the pain of loss and how heavily it can weigh on one's heart. Nevertheless, there is but one way forward. We must needs procure a new heart for the Talos. Staff, knowest thou any location wherein we might find the stone we require? No matter how scant the possibility, we would seize it. I told you near all the veins were tapped dry years ago, though I suppose if you really wanted to try, you may find something at Nuvi's leavings. It was opened well before Talos became commonplace, which is why the mining there was never quite as deep. When you get there, look for Guth John and tell him I sent you, but don't be surprised if he tells you the same thing. Thine assistance is most appreciated. I think it best Thancred joins thee in this search. Though he wouldst be quick to deny it, his heart is in turmoil and his thoughts clouded. It would be unwise to ignore his distress. Off to somewhere, are you? At last, a lead on the stone we need to power the Talos. I can't very well have you go on your own. Lead the way. I say we're long overdue for a good turn. I can only hope the gods feel the same way. Now, Nuvi's leavings was to the south, was it? Let's get going. The way you described it, I was expecting the place to be abandoned. Perhaps our fortunes are finally improving, though we should probably hear what Guth John has to say before we celebrate, assuming we can find him, that is. Who are you, and what are you doing in here? Well, you should have listened to Thaf. You're wasting your time. But this site is not as developed as the others, is it not? Surely there must be something left. I should explain. The stone you're looking for is leonine. All the Talos in the Hills of Amber are powered using them. Or were, at least. Anyway, whatever's left, if anything, is too far below to be safely excavated. In the deepest reaches of the mine, we use Talos to keep the pathways from collapsing. They're still there, but they could give out at any time, which is why much of the mine is closed off. Then our only option is to search the higher levels for any fragments of leonine that might have been overlooked. I suppose there may be one other way. Well, don't leave us in suspense. What you're asking for is a trade secret. I'll need to be duly compensated in exchange. Fine. What do you want? The other day, I found a Vobert gold piece down in the mines. A bloody Vobert gold piece. And wouldn't you know it, I dropped the damn thing somewhere while I was working. Find it, and I'll tell you what you want to know. You drive a hard bargain, sir, but we'll take it. Seems we have our work cut out for us. Thankfully, I have an idea for how we might hurry things along. Get a niffler. Get us a niffler. As I'm sure you've noticed, despite their best efforts to illuminate the corridors, it's rather dark in here, meaning it will be much harder to find a single coin hiding in the shadows. That's why I propose we use these. Sun drops. They help the eye take in more light. Why don't you start your search further in and I'll handle this area here. I'll retrace your steps after, in case you happen to miss it. If you feel the drops effect wearing off, I can give you more, so don't worry. I was hoping he dropped the gold piece somewhere closer to the entrance. More fool me for thinking Lady Luck was on our side. I found it. Or maybe she is. Yours, at least. In the end, my contribution was little more than poor company. Come now, Thancred. No more than usual, I assure you. I only managed to survive the Corithan wilderness and the Imperial capital by virtue of extensive preparation. A habit of mine since childhood, and one of my very few positive traits which endeared me to Lusseau, I imagine. It hasn't been easy finding ways to compensate for my condition. Every tool and trinket has proven vital to my continued success, such as it is. Had I chosen to pursue the arcane arts rather than espionage, well, I'd rather not think on it. So long as I have the means to protect those dear to me and to see my duties through, that's all that matters. Now let's hurry and see that return to Guthjon. The sooner we get back to your Yonge and Minfilia, the better. Guthjon! I have something for you, bud. I'll be damned. You actually found it. Well, a deal's a deal, but don't think this means you'll find what you're after. Tell me your trade secrets! To be honest, I wasn't sure you could pull it off, but you did, and I'm a man of my word. Come with me. Every time I step out of those mines, the sky seems to get brighter. I'd never leave them if the air weren't so stale. But you're not come to hear my grievances. You're after Leonine. First, I have to ask, you ever heard of rockworms? Rockworms? I know them by another name, though I'm fairly certain the locals call them knockers. Nah, like boobs. Aye, they do. Whatever you want to call them, those little bastards may be the answer to your troubles. They can fit through cracks and crevices down where we could never hope to reach. And on occasion, they come back with something valuable. They dig up Leonine in the mines? It's a rare occurrence, but yes. That said, it usually amounts to no more than a few flakes. Well, our other option sounds tantamount to suicide. So how can we draw out these rockworms? Over by that shack, you'll find a bag full of smoke bombs. Set off a few in the mines and you'll flush them out in no time. Once they're out in the open, knock them senseless and check their backs. I should warn you, this method of mining, if you can even call it that, is used as a last resort on account of what little they're like to bring back. You'll want to cover as much ground as you can if you hope to find anything of value. Assuming you do find something, bring it here and I'll have a look. We should split up if we're to cover more ground, as he suggests. If you can cover these 3 areas on your map, I'll see to the parts between them. Yeah, the Brogy alarm going off. There you are. Find anything promising? We found these glittering rocks. Between the two of you, I'd say you've got quite the haul. Best get comfortable, friends. It's going to take time for me to sift through all this. They aren't supported well, so they don't behave well.
You may not remember this about Arminfilia, but prior to founding the Path of the 12, long before the Scions, she was something of a miner. After her father died, Flamine took her in and taught her the trade. I think they were both seeking to fill the void left by a loved one. Maybe that's why she took to it so readily. Back in those days, I spent most of my time in the Quicksand, or some other tavern, loosening tongues and gathering secrets. Occasionally, I'd catch a glimpse of her in the street, on her way home after another hard day's work. I always felt a wave of relief when I saw she'd come back safe, along with a pang of guilt at the fact I wasn't there to support her as I should have been. Simply speaking with her more than once in a blue moon would have been a good start, but I could never bring myself to do it. Instead, I threw myself into my work and became every drunkard's best friend.
$70,000 channel points. Nice, Stacey.
Not too highly, no. She once called me a wine-sodden wharf rat, which wouldn't have been half as galling had it not been so accurate. But that was a lifetime ago. Here and now, I have another chance to do things right, and I will not squander it again.
Hey! Come and see what I found! You're not going to believe this.
Tell me it's Leonine.
It is at that. You lot were born lucky. It's mostly broken pieces. But look at this.
We found it.
This is a rather fine specimen.
What do you know about Leonine, Ingrid?
It's been decades since we found anything approaching this big. But that's not all. There's an engraving on it.
Ah, these scratches here. They're a little hard to make out. To my beloved Magnus and Schoolie.
Oh my god.
Yes! Do you see? It was a gift to Magnus from his wife. She found it. She really found it.
Oh wow.
She must have spent her final hours carving this message into the stone, in the hope that he might see it one day.
I feel like that would...
Rock-backed bastards must have made off with it before we could clear a path to her.
In her final hours? That's so dismal.
It's
I don't know
fate
if
that
you
brought
would...
you here to find this stone. No other explanation. It makes me wonder what else might still be buried in these parts.
I feel like this is gonna throw Magnus on a whole new tangent. Because I feel like before we could sit here and be like, oh, the rock crushed her and she died immediately. But now, I feel like now we know that she was down there and she suffered and lost air or starved to death or dehydrated. Anywho. I wouldn't believe it had I not seen it for myself. Before you set it in the Talos, would you take it to Magnus? For 3 long years, he's believed she died for nothing. He must know the truth, that her sacrifice was not in vain. We'll take it straight to him. You have my word. Thank you, Guthjon, for all your help. Thank you for the hydrate, Trigon. Alrighty. Agnes. Got something for you, bud. What? Oh, it's you. If you come to complain about the trolley, you'll find no sympathy from me. I told you before it won't run and you wouldn't listen. Oh, but it will, now that we have this. Your name is engraved on it, along with your son's. It was a gift from your wife, Magnus. From Agna. No, she couldn't have. Agna. Take it. Do with it what you will. Are you certain? It would delay our plans, but... I said take it. It was you who found it, you who needs it. Looking at that stone, all I can see is... Please, just leave me be. I hope you'll be there when the Talos stirs to life. I'm sure she'd want you to see it. See, I'm telling you, we did not need... I don't know. That's a lot. Would you do the honors of delivering this to your Yanje? Because, I mean, you would see that and all you would think about was, like, her suffering. I don't know. That's all I would be able to think about. Anyway. Thou art returned. With Leonine, it would seem. As promised, the Talos hath been made ready to receive its heart, thanks in no small part to Jarek, Thaf, and Minfilia. At last, we shall return time to the timeless, the sentinel of stone, that we may press on towards Nabatharang. Yeah, the blue ones don't give you any experience, I don't think. If I am remembering correctly. I've just never, I don't think I've ever done the, like, regular quests before. Do they have good stories, or are they, like, fetch questy?
Preparations for the enchantment are complete. When the heart hath been suffused with a sufficient quantity of ether, the golem should be restored to life.
All right, then. Whenever you're ready.
Why did you make that face? Yay! Hello. So how do they work? Look at his...
It's working. It's working. Magnus.
Hey, noob. How are ya?
You left me for this? This wretched heap of stone and rubble? this worthless pile of earth? And yet, I can't.
Magnus. The girl is sensitive.
What troubleth thee, child?
I shouldn't be here. I don't deserve to be. I don't deserve any of the things you've done for me. I'm just a burden, helpless and hopeless. If tomorrow came and I was gone, it would be better for everyone.
But she's feeling guilty because of Magnus.
Thancred most of all. He'll never admit it, but I can see it in his eyes.
Very
I
angsty
wish
teenager,
he'd
huh?
just say it. Just say that he hates me, that he wishes I was dead so that she could return.
None of this is thy doing, child. 'Twas I who set the oracle on her path unto the first. I who condemned you all to suffer these torments. 'Tis my sin alone, and one that will haunt me unto my dying day. Yet I dare not dwell over long on my many regrets, for the world is a tapestry of fates, interwoven and inseparable. And we who strive to better it cannot choose but make difficult decisions. For naught of worth was ever achieved without sacrifice. And thus must man ever struggle to weigh life against loss.
Guess that's true. It technically is Yuri on Jay's fault.
The one for whom thou mournest beareth no grudge. Were she here, she would not suffer thee to languish in sorrow. She would tell thee to seek thine own path, thine own purpose. It is a truth which I myself was slow to learn. Yet a truth it remaineth. Thou needst but have faith, and all will be well.
Oh, the normal raids?
Not today.
100% completion. Can you imagine? Meanwhile, in the Crystarium. Oh, he's watching us? Weird. Why is Emmett Selko here?
To what do I owe the pleasure that is your extended stay?
I like it.
Oh, to the tediousness of our hero's present endeavors. That and the insufferable abundance of light in Armorang. I should be glad to keep my distance. Oh, I'm rather fond of sleep, you know. It's a wonderful way to pass the time. Not that my compeers would agree, mind you. Always on the move, the lot of them. Like La Hebrea, constantly jumping from vessel to vessel. Such fire, such determination. So much passion, fleeting and forgotten. Come to think of it, Exarch, I don't believe I've ever seen you retire to your chambers for so much as 40 winks. However do you keep your eyes from closing? The cold shoulder. You wound me, sir. Always so guarded in our every interaction. Interactions you curiously refrain from sharing with the Scions and their champion.
And risk souring your budding relationship? I think not. Much as I dislike you, there are more useful targets for her energies. And I am not in the habit of pointing her at my enemies like a weapon.
Or who, me?
Is that right? Fond of her, are you? You continue to fascinate me, Exarch. But tell me, who are you? The once great nation whose ingenuity gave birth to this tower was shaped by my hand. As such, I know full well the wonders it can facilitate and those it cannot. There is nothing in these walls which could have aided you in summoning our dear friend across time and space. Much less in possession of her mortal flesh, not even I could have performed such a feat.
I see. You had a hand in Alag as well. You would know what I am? I am the adjudicator of the sacred history with which you dared trifle. I am keeper of this tower's boundless wisdom. The wisdom of ages without age, of everywhere and nowhere. The great work of those who tamed the wings of time and grasped the nature of the rift. 'Tis a boon born of sacrifices yet unmade. The parting gift of brave heroes who will one day give their lives for a brighter future. I will not see their hopes and dreams squandered. The history which led us here will be unwritten. I promise you that.
I don't know, maybe it's blue because he's turning to crystal.
Well, it seems we're both eager to fulfill our duties then.
On that much, we are in agreement.
Mine apologies for the delay. Minfilia and I had a private matter to discuss. Which bringeth me the question. How didst thou find Thancred during your search? He spoke of Minfilia, of his own accord. See. 'Tis well that he did that, and with such candor. I attempted to broach the subject before. Mine intention was to ensure no words remained unspoken between them, lest tragedy intercede. A regret I myself know all too well. Alas, in the end he refused to heed my counsel. A time will come when they must face the reality of their circumstances, but I have faith that all will be well in time. Now, let us not tarry any longer. The Talos and Nabeth Arang wait.